What's up, guys? It's Dante from East Coast Gridiron, and today we're going to be breaking down a video on building an XFL quarterback. This is a video that the XFL has released, I think, as of today. Everybody knows me from breaking down quarterbacks anyway, so what we're going to do is watch this video, kind of react to it, see what's going on. If you guys didn't know, the XFL, we're going to be covering that, for this season, since it's I don't know if you would call it the inaugural season under the new management with The Rock and a couple other people. We're going to go ahead and break down this video, react to it together, see what kind of interesting things that the XFL's got going on, and kind of kickstart our way into, I guess, our XFL coverage. So let's just go ahead and dig right into the video, man. I'm excited for this one.
Danucci's got that cool release.
Arlington, Texas. Ben Danucci right there.
Romo release, sort of.
And when we look at the quarterback play, it always equates to good football.
Aaron Rodgers release, that's high praise.
And pair up with our quarterback development coach, Jordan Palmer.
I want to get my arm loose, right? I want to feel good, ready to rock. That should be.
So I did want to pause it right there. If you guys didn't know, Jordan Palmer works with a ton of different quarterbacks. Sam Darnold, to name one. He's the brother of Carson Palmer, who I think, it's kind of on the borderline of being a Hall of Famer, but Jordan Palmer's excellent, man. You hear nothing but good things out of the quarterbacks that he has trained, but let's go ahead and keep diving back into this video.
A byproduct of the things that I'm working on.
As we continue to watch the development of our athletes, we can't wait to see where they take their game and where they take the XFL's game.
Production's really good. We're taking this real serious this year. Not the fact that they didn't before.
With this group, a series of events have happened, and it didn't go the way they thought it was going to go. For some of them, it's an injury. For some of them, they got beat out. For some of them, it was political. For some of them, they just played terrible. But everybody here can throw it. These guys can move. They're all big. They're all athletic.
This is kind of like a developmental league. I know they said they're going to do some not developmental, but some experimental things with like the rules and stuff like that. So just keep it with a grain of salt as we watch this. That I think Jordan Palmer is a little hyping the league up, but I'm excited to watch nonetheless.
Thrown a lot of touchdowns and won a lot of games. And so now it's about realigning it.
This is about loading lines attention.
Reorganizing it.
Pelvis, trunk.
And putting them in a position to be able to move forward. I've been able to work with some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and I'm about as excited as this opportunity to be the director of quarterback development for the XFL.
DeAndre Francois right there, Florida State.
This is the league that I needed. I was a 6th-round pick that got cut at the end of training camp. I worked out for 9 teams that following season.
Hey, he looks a lot different.
Keep in mind, too, my brother's the #1 pick. It was the exact opposite of my brother's career.
Carson Palmer, his brother, was the first pick overall in the draft. He won the Heisman Trophy, had an amazing NFL career.
And people go, so...
Oh, that's right. They were on the same team together at when they were with the Bengals.
Right,
that's cool.
That eats at you. I go to the UFL. I go to the Arena League. I sit out a couple years, and then I ended up playing in the NFL for a while.
He played, I think, 7 or 8 years in the NFL. He's really what the XFL is about.
These things that are part of my journey.
That's a good point.
Have put me in a position to really, I think, have one of the most unique.
Let's look at some of the jerseys he has up here. I'm sure these are, Kyle Allen was the guy. I think he actually shares a podcast with him right now. Sam Darnold, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Clayton Tune, Jarrett Stidham, Desmond Ritters. I can't remember his name, Garbers, but yeah, man, and whoever this number 12 was. And I think he's actually working with Caden McNamara, if I remember right. So
vantage points over this position. Some of you guys need this opportunity. Some of you guys, this is going to be the last thing you ever do in football, maybe. Some of you guys, this is that next thing that you needed to be able to trigger the rest of the shit that's about to come.
The XFL opportunity represents a fresh start.
It's a great opportunity to get more playing time.
Just
Steven Montez, I remember him.
Guys that are in similar positions as myself.
I've been a guy that played.
So Carson Strong, you probably heard his name come up a couple times, right?
Division III football, played in spring leagues.
Haven't really played a whole lot. I played a little bit in the preseason with Washington, didn't play at all with Detroit.
But we have another opportunity here to get better, focus on our craft, and have a chance to play football again.
This league and the approach, the leadership that this league has from the top down, the support that it has is exactly what's needed to be able to create a true developmental league. Also a league that can play really competitive football with great athletes in it And that's why I'm sitting in this
I mean, think about all these quarterbacks that he has, like Steven Montez and Carson Strong, who was really good at Nevada, and DeAndre Francois. I see him popping up, but people tend to forget how good he was at Florida State until he got himself into some trouble, and then the whole regime changed between Jimbo Fisher and all that. So it's really good seeing him, and hopefully he's got his life together. But I mean, this is what this is about. This is what makes it exciting. So we're all going to learn this together.
share is I lived this life. I was these guys. I needed this league 15 years ago.
And what we're trying to do is really limit that process so there's a consistency to the messaging that the quarterback receives.
I think Brian Westbrook was back there. Let's rewind that. Brian Westbrook is involved with this?
That process.
Yeah, that's Brian Westbrook. That's crazy.
So there's a consistency to the messaging that the quarterback receives.
I've always believed that the limiting factor in a player reaching his potential is flawed mechanics. Flawed mechanics a lot of times comes from mixed messaging and a lack of an understanding of how the body works and how we're actually supposed to move and throw.
Everybody get feet in cement right now. Push your feet away from each other. Tap right here. Feel how that's activated? Okay, so we just activated the outside part of our hips. This is about loading lines of tension. So now let's get a rep here. Push my feet apart, lift my balls up. Inhale and exhale when you throw.
Yeah,
Paul's the most important position in all of sports, and I think it's the least developed position in all of sports.
Jordan Palmer's a smart guy, man.
The NFL talked to his quarterback coach about mechanics. Doesn't sound anything like the way a tennis pro talks to his coach. Talk to a pro golfer. My driver is like this, okay? My irons are like this, and my putting is like that. We separate it, right? They're three different things, okay? We should do that as quarterbacks too. I try and help these guys become what I call triple threats. Physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm working with quarterbacks from 8 teams. That's 8 different offenses.
I think Jordan Tiama, who used to play for the Battlehawks, I think he's playing for the Battlehawks again. Now that they're, I can't remember if they're in St. Louis before, but I know he's back as well.
That's 8 different philosophies that the coaching staff.
Jordan Tiama's a really good quarterback.
So I have to be able to teach guys universal principles that fit with whatever system they're in.
Jordan's different because he truly looks at the kinesiology part of it, what muscles you're moving, how your core works, how your hips work, and how all of that goes into playing quarterback. And he's able to explain it in a very simple way for us to understand and comprehend it and go out and apply it.
Once you get to a certain level, the margins are tiny, right? And so how do you improve those things? Well, you need data and tech to really understand what it is and then how you can improve it.
So I guess they might explain it here.
8 cameras, a markerless system, 240 frames.
Explaining it before I do, but yeah.
Per second, capture everything from your big toe all the way to your thumb and how you throw a
But I've seen this kind of setup too, where you have that mini camera angle so you can kind of see mechanically what a quarterback is doing. So this is really cool.
How's your sequence? How are you connected? When you put your foot in the ground, are you creating enough energy to go all the way through your body and to throw?
So think about a sequence. I want to go, here's a sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because on that one, you're going 2, 1, 3, 4. The first thing that was initiated was your trunk.
This is really freaking cool. So, basically an advantage to this, and the guys that got to attend this are very, very fortunate, because what's happening is, with something like this, they not only can pinpoint whatever the good things that the quarterbacks are doing, but it gives them something to work on, like in depth with timing, with the statistics and everything like that. So, dang, man, this is really impressive.
The left crossover steps what we're talking about. No stability there. No stability there. It's a weight shift.
When Jordan can really take it to that next level, we saw 11 of 11 guys create more force, and they are more connected either from their hips or their trunk. 4 of them in particular with their hips have gotten over 30% better.
It's not even how good you're getting at throwing the football, it's the ownership of your stroke and the ability to problem solve. There's frustration, there's anger, there's embarrassment, there's resentment, there's humiliation. There's a lot of things that you guys are dealing with.
Woo! See, now he's sitting on, this is why Jordan Palmer's so good at this stuff. Psychologically, a lot of things that the quarterback has to go through, he's addressing a lot of that things in his teaching back to them on what they should and should not do. So this is, when you said that somebody's checking the checklist of everything, not only mechanically, but also emotionally for a quarterback, all that stuff matters, man. It's not the fact that they haven't been through this type of stuff before, but some of them playing in the NFL and some of them being disappointed and things like that. But this is good stuff.
I brought in
Said it for the
somebody
100th
that I
time.
bring in when somebody's getting ready to be the #1 pick, and he can come in and speak truth into these guys' life of here's where I'm currently at. Let me take inventory of that, and then we can implement and give them some tools for how to deal with the things that are coming next.
There's more uncertainty than they've ever had in their career, and you have to find a way to be able to push forward and take advantage of if an opportunity comes, not when it comes.
Right.
Being able to work with the best in the world and Jordan Palmer was something that I gravitated towards to choose the XFL.
It gives me an opportunity to keep playing the game I love, that I've been playing since I was 4 years old. It's a blessing to be here, man.
Look, De'Aaron King is one of those guys that played in Miami, didn't really have a lot in the NFL, and now he's finding himself in the XFL. One of the guys that actually took advantage of the NIL as well, so that's cool.
I'm a lot better now than I was when I first got here. That's all that matters.
I want to see growth of every single person on the roster here, quantifiable growth. And then I want to see some guys find the thing that was the missing piece. Through this process and through the coaching staffs, they've solved for that problem. I mean, I can't wait for the season to start to see those guys implement that, reach their potential.
1, 2, 3, family.
Wow, man, this is see, this was a great video, man. To be completely honest with you, I mean, as a future quarterback, I guess in the XFL, or trying to chase after your dreams of getting back to the NFL, why wouldn't you take advantage of something like this? Especially, I mean, you guys saw the Joe Burrows of the world and, you know, Josh Allen's and things like that, who's had success in the NFL. Why wouldn't you try to take his guidance? He has a pretty good track record. I mean, say what you want about Deshaun Watson, like 2020, to me, he was the best quarterback in the NFL. So he has a good track record. His brother was actually good, and the way that he's evaluating all this stuff, and the way that I don't know if this is the XFL or was this his idea, or was this a collaborative effort to bring all this technology and all this knowledge to these quarterbacks? But hell, why wouldn't you want to do something like this? So this is actually a really cool video, man. The XFL is really marketing themselves really well, and I can't wait for them to release more videos like this. I was actually very, very surprised I didn't watch this video beforehand, so I had no idea that this was going to be what they were going to produce. But building an XFL quarterback, this is good stuff. Like I said, you know, some familiar faces, some familiar names: Steven Montez, DeAndre Francois, De'Aaron King. Yeah, it's going to be really, really fun to watch these guys develop. Jordan Tiamu, who's back in the XFL, so I guess you can actually say he's an XFL veteran, but you know, we skipped 1 year and here we are. So I wish nothing but this league success, man. I think this is going to be fun to watch, fun to see who's actually going to be good throughout the year, see some of this experimental stuff that the NFL wants to do. But thanks for sitting here watching with me, man, and I hope you guys actually pick up on the XFL this year as well too. So we're going to be covering all year long. This has been everybody's favorite couch quarterback, Dante, and we'll see you guys later.